Hey, once again, welcome. It's Jerome Shaw here.
Ellie Tom Elamine with the light beams.
Coming with another message just to inspire, to rewire, and to just really increase that inner fire, that burning for learning that we have on this pranic path. And one of the quotes that I saw recently was one from a gentleman named George Bernard Shaw, and no relation. And the quote says, "The reasonable man adjusts himself to the world. The unreasonable one persists in trying to adjust the world to themselves. Therefore, all progress depends on the unreasonable man." And so this quote reminds me, because we've been talking lately about transcending nature. And also how so many people throughout history, like the Einsteins of the world and the Nikola Teslas of the world and the people that we know today, because they made these profound breakthroughs, were somehow unreasonable.
Right.
Like they didn't conform to the rest of society, but in order for great change in society, they had to be almost strange in society.
Strange in society.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
Because even Isaac Newton, his uncle couldn't understand, what is that book going to do to you?
Right.
It ain't putting potatoes on that table. Get out there on the farm. Right. What is a book? That was back then.
Right.
So this is very powerful. So people really don't understand when a person is really working on something. It takes a lot of energy, but it's different than everybody else is doing.
Yes.
You could easily took that other route.
Right.
And that creation would have never came about.
Right. Because like you said, you've told us before when you talk about creating that foundation, I remember that you've told us time and time again, it's so easy to talk yourself out of meditation.
Oh, yes, it is.
Like it's easy to talk yourself out of doing these things that could actually reshape your whole reality. Absolutely.
That monkey mind, they call it.
Right.
Because it ain't used to it. It was used to the old lifestyle, and it's what it's going to put up holler like a child. And everybody go through that.
Yeah.
That's just, it comes with the territory.
Right.
Because you're dealing with the light, other frequencies, more subtle forces. It's very powerful. It takes a lot of energy and concentration. Oh, man. This is something.
So these people that we know throughout history that made these profound breakthroughs in society, among the population that weren't thinking on their level,
right?
They somehow, it feels like they had to develop either a passion or a purpose for life, for living, for giving, for really just infusing their energy into these pursuits, so that they could, realize the absolute in their world, and then by changing their world, they changed the world.
Absolutely. They basically created a world around them to fit what they're trying to do. That is something, ain't it?
Yes.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
That's a big one. And I'm glad we're talking about this, because on a solar breatharian journey, that's what you actually have to do.
Okay.
That's the reality of it. That's actually what you have to do.
Wow. So does that remind you of when you were first starting to teach and you were first starting to reach out for people to conduct classes, to get classes together, to get a congregation, to get people who were in relations or people who needed this information.
Right.
When you were first getting these classes together, you had to you had to find out how to create a form of stability for you on the path, but you did it in a way that you were also providing others with this knowledge, but you're saying it was actually for you. You were doing this for you so you could stay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Now here we go again. Because I did this community center one time, and people say, we really thank you for what you did. You brought the knowledge. But in reality, I did it for myself. Not in a selfish way, but I'm sitting here with this level of knowledge, holding it. But how am I going to grow further if I don't create an environment for myself?
There you go.
So what you're doing is you're creating an environment so you can grow, and it's going to draw the people who want that same environment.
Yes.
So it's for you and the people, but you did it so you can survive, because if I wouldn't have created that, my growth would have been halted.
Okay, it would have stunted your growth.
You would have stunted your growth.
Okay.
So it do force you when you change yourself to change the world. It forces you to. That's how you know.
Whoa.
Because you go into service work.
Okay.
That's the biggest level. You go into service work.
It forces you.
It forces you.
Whoa.
Because you can't sit there saying, I got all of this and I'm so good and everything is chaotic around you. For you to really live more freely, you start straightening out the chaos.
Yes. Okay.
Right. So, because it is you on a bigger level.
Right.
Yeah. And then the people, they'll be there. Those who don't reside with it will fade off, but those who will magnetize to it will come because we're electrical beings, electromagnetic beings. So it's all on a spiritual level.
And like you said, that is you.
That is me.
So it's the unity consciousness, you're coming together.
So you can grow further.
Yes.
Other than that, if everybody, that's what's wrong with humanity now, divide and conquer.
Okay.
We got the truth over here, we got it over here. But I know since I've traveled out of my range, they all talking the same thing, we don't even realize it.
Right.
So I just decided to come in the middle and just pull each one.
Oh my gosh, that genius.
Right, here we go.
And so when we're talking about, these people that we regard as geniuses, like we say the Einsteins, the Nikola Teslas, like the people who did these great profound discoveries, these great profound inventions, and these great, these things that just blow the mind.
Right.
There were certain periods where, they might have had a certain period of isolation, but then there were certain periods where they had collaboration with another congregation. So when you're talking about this quote, which I love, the reasonable man adjusts themselves to the world.
Right.
That's reasonable. Right?
Reasonable.
But the unreasonable man persists in trying to adjust the world to themselves.
Just the world to themselves.
Therefore, all progress depends on the unreasonable man.
That's something, ain't it?
I was like, wow.
That's powerful. Hey, you it's like you're running this train all aboard, but you just can't stop like that.
You can't stop.
You got to keep going.
Yeah.
You're the conductor.
Wow.
And everybody else, you're going by the rules. You'll probably stop at this stop to get people on. But you want to be a train that's on time, arrive on time, and leave on time.
Yes. Okay.
It's a mission.
Yes.
But some people, they come late even though they try to run the train, or I got to wait for so-and-so. You can't wait for nobody.
Right. Okay.
You're on the schedule.
Okay.
So you can keep feeding. That's what they call riding the wave of the Tao. You're riding the wave.
Yes.
And some people don't understand that because they try to, half-step with it. But all you got to do is be right on time.
Man, in alignment.
In alignment.
Riding the wave.
Right.
The wave of reality. See, it reminds me that I've heard how truth goes through 3 phases. They'll say that first, truth is, okay, it's ridiculed. Right. It's laughed at. People laugh at it. They criticize it. And then second, it is violently opposed.
Violently opposed.
Right. People will say, this is wrong. This is, totally not, and then third, it is accepted as self-evident.
It is accepted.
As if, how could it be any other way?
Right. This is what we're working with.
Right.
And you do go through those phases because even with the solar breatharian knowledge, it's easy to teach now. At first, it was stuff thrown at you.
20 years ago, yeah.
Oh my gosh. But now, everybody know they got an electromagnetic field. 20 years ago, they didn't know.
Okay.
So it ain't no laughing no more. Well, you got electricity going up your spinal cord. Well, the air is thick. It got weight to it. You know what I mean? So ain't nobody saying nothing now because it's just proven science. So it's no ridicule. Now people getting on a bandwagon. We're in the age of frequency medicine.
Right. So this is why you always say it's a good age we're in.
It's a good age we're in.
Okay.
Oh man, this is a good age.
Okay.
We got it going on.
Man. so just motivation for people on the path, on the journey, just in new ways of thinking, new ways of being, new ways of living, and giving this information, this energy. For some motivation for people, because I remember you would always tell us at the retreats, even though you had been doing it for 20 years, you would point at us and say, you're the first fruits.
You're the first fruits.
You're the first fruits. Why would you always say that?
Well, because you're the first sprouts that came up. Somebody did throw some seeds and water and all of that, but one person ain't going to do nothing.
Okay.
When the body comes together, that's the first fruits.
Got it.
The fullness of the body that came.
Okay.
It ain't no one-man show or one-woman show.
Okay. So in the grand scheme of things, like even if somebody is just starting this today or just heard about this, they're still pretty much a pioneer.
The first fruits.
In this movement.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This is big time because this is the ground level. All the way. And when you look at all of our inventions, from the automobile, from the different planes we got, all of this stuff, it started in its infancy.
Right.
And it had to grow to where it's at now. And when it first started, if you would have had a time machine to show people where it went, they wouldn't even believe it. It'll blow their mind. Henry Ford be like, that's a race car?
Right.
With tires that big, going how fast? The Wright brothers be like, what? You got a plane that's going Mach 10? 10 times faster than the speed of sound?
They wouldn't believe it.
Wouldn't even believe it.
Yeah.
That's how it goes. So with the solar breath theory and knowledge, when we talking immortality, you know, some people ain't catch it, but more is. After a while, it's going to be like 20, 50 years from now or 100 years from now. Y'all done went that far? Right. Somebody running around glowing, levitating. It ain't far-fetched.
Oh, man.
More energy all in the body. We got it.
Yes.
But somebody got to start to the ground level.
Somebody got to do it. Yeah, somebody got to start it.
Right.
Yeah.
This is straight real. We electrical beings. We're children of light.
Yes.
So we're just going to keep growing.
Yes. Get the ball rolling.
From lifetime to lifetime. It ain't going. And it ain't going up under the table no time soon.
No.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, one scientist said, even when we talk about the human being, you can't delete energy or nothing like that anymore. They even making a technology. They say, okay, we got G5 now. G6, they're planning on how can we use the wasted energy, that just means the heat coming from the human being, to take part in the technology.
Whoa.
See, this ain't far-fetched. We here.
Yeah. And just the other night, you were talking about stuff like the astronauts and the protein powder, and like all these technologies. I'm like,
people thinking on many ways, whether if it's external or internal, it's still hand in hand. It's the same consciousness.
Yeah.
You know, people just like demonizing different stuff. It's because of lack of knowledge or you're ignorant of it. But once you find out what it's about, oh, okay, that's an extension of myself. And it becomes easier. Man, this is good.
We're heading in the same direction.
Heading in the same direction. It's just one consciousness.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
Oh, man, this is good.
Yes, it is.
But that's what the way it is. I mean, right. Like how Einstein and them, they developed their intellectual body. Because there's different bodies. There's a food body. There's an intellectual body. Then we got the body, what we call the bliss body. You know, we could break those down if we were to get into the teachings. But the intellectual body, they was out to strengthen their mental faculties. And that takes work.
Yeah.
That takes work.
And they couldn't be out in the world conforming to the world
to
be able to develop that.
Because some people don't like to read, some people don't like to think, you know, I mean, but some people have that talent. I want to exercise my muscle.
Yeah.
Some muscle. It'll grow.
Yes.
Oh man, this is good.
It is.
But once you find out what you're good at, go ahead and take it to its further height. Master it.
And like energy will attract that like energy.
Like energy will attract that like energy. And this is what as we do this message, how I be saying, science just means knowledge, and I be trying to explain in the spiritual community, you are the scientist. You're spiritual when you start making stuff that's user-friendly for the environment and for other people. Instead of thinking you're spiritual just because you can point the finger at the government or the scientist who's making stuff and you're protesting and act like you care. Start using your mind. Start using this creative genius.
Right.
Because if you're increasing your energy, your consciousness will expand. You should come out with the answer.
Yes. The energy speaks for itself.
Exactly.
Yes.
Oh, man.
Yes.
You should come out with the answer.
Yes.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
See, spirituality is deeper than what people thought it was. No, you're supposed to be making new houses, new ways to do produce, and new ways to how to get the animals and the people to really relate to each other. All of this stuff. Oh, man. This is mine. We don't even know. We ain't even scratched the surface.
Man. Yeah, it's just the tip of the iceberg.
Tip of the iceberg.
So start thinking about yourself like that, you know, like you're a scientist in your own laboratory.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You got look at the laboratory. They got vials of blood and vials of plasma. They might have a heart in a jar. I got all that right here.
Right.
I already got a laboratory that's expensive.
Yeah.
Expensive. You are expensive.
Yes.
You just don't even realize it. Thousands and tens of thousands of dollars on your hide. Priceless.
Yeah.
Oh man, this is good. And then there's mine again. Boy, when you really think about it, us compared to the other animal kingdom, what we got going for us is our minds.
The truth.
We made it this far, man.
Because you can make a plan. Like
You can make a plan and all of this stuff.
Yeah.
We ain't got no claws and even tools is an invention.
Right.
We made it this far. We was out thinking stuff. Smart beings. Terribly smart.
Man.
That's wild, ain't it?
So don't be put down by anyone who thinks that you're unreasonable. You
Exactly.
know? It's okay to be unreasonable, as we see. There are so many things that would have never been advanced, like we talked about, like you said, with people like Isaac Newton, Thomas Edison, Einstein. Like the world would literally be a darker place if certain individuals had not been unreasonable.
Exactly.
Stuck
with it.
Yeah.
And somebody at that time was talking against what they was doing.
Absolutely.
Big time. What they say, when Ford came out with the first automobile, there was a prominent man who said, because he had his great golden carriages, he said, that horseless revolution ain't gonna last.
Wow.
But look at it now.
Still here.
Went somewhere else. Why? You got to stick with it.
Yeah.
Oh man, through ridicule, through this, and then pretty soon when the breakthrough come, everybody will be looking. Won't say nothing. And there's many people throughout the years apologize to me.
Oh man.
Yeah, I ain't even expect it coming.
Okay.
That's what I went through.
Man.
That's wild, ain't it?
They came back around.
They apologized.
Wow.
They said, one thing, you stuck with your thought.
But if you hadn't have stuck with it, then they wouldn't have. Yeah.
Oh, people can be mean.
Right.
Sort of like crabs. One crab try to get out, the other one pull them back down. That's how it works.
It's the same in boxing. You've heard the saying like, we don't remember the fighters who got knocked down and stayed down.
Right.
We remember the ones who got back up.
That got back up. Those are the ones we remember.
Yeah.
But this is some real stuff.
Yeah.
Oh man, exercise this muscle. And this is spirit. We've been saying that. This is spirit.
Right.
There's no separation. This is what's making us stronger. Oh man, a living entity. You're looking at my mind. This is the way I think.
So this is good.
It's just that real.
Yeah.
Oh man, and it's expanding and off the body. This is just the center.
Right.
Oh man, I'm my whole environment. This is how we rolling. Oh man, so I wonder we talked earlier about it will force you to go change your environment.
Right.
Because you're changing yourself.
Yes.
Oh
no
man.
way, yeah.
Like that movie Limitless. When he took that pill. First thing he did was cleaned up his house.
He changed his environment.
He changed his environment so he can work.
Right. He got up. He started doing the feng shui.
Right.
He started changing the layout, changing the things. He said, "Let me get the energy right in here."
He ain't do nothing that was far-fetched.
Right.
They just showed him when he took a pill. But on this, we're taking the light. Every time we meditate, you're getting a dosage of the light. And you're becoming limitless.
Yes.
So you start cleaning up your environment, getting on your JOB, doing this. That's how the world gonna change.
Yes.
Oh man.
Oh man. So continue to create that change. Even if they think it's strange, it is never in vain.
Here we go.
So much love.
Peace.
Take care.